All right, so we're here with Rosemarie David. How are you?
Hi, I'm well, thank you, Jimmy.
It's great to meet you, and you just got off the stage. You were a part of a panel, and I mean, first off, how was it?
It was awesome.
It was awesome. You're kind of coming at it like, look, I don't really do these that much, and I thought you had just such high impact for a minimal amount of time, and I told you, like, we need to get the word out to empower more women to be in positions like you. And if you don't know, you've closed 500 units in a year before.
Yeah,
$100 million
life.
producer. That's insane numbers. And I think anybody can look up to you. And you did this thing where you had a poll of why did you lose the deal, and it was a poll for loan officers. And you said, okay, A, it was because of price. B, product. C, resources. And then D was basically, it was me. It was my sales ability, I messed it up. And you said, I can't believe this still, but then I reflected on it and I was like, wow, this is so true. No one that answered this poll answered D, that it was their fault. Why is that?
You know what? I don't know why, but the main thing that came out of it when I was doing that survey, it was with a sales team in the 07 market that was depressed, and it just was eye-opening that they did not believe in themselves that they could actually overcome price or product or a resource. And at the bottom line, literally I had a few people say to me, well, what's so important about that? Well, if you don't believe that you can overcome the objections, and with what we're dealing with right now in the world of digital evolution and cost worlds, margin compression, it's just critically important that you believe it before you set yourself out and equip yourself.
I kind of heard it like it was a 12-step program. And what's step one? Admit that you have a problem.
Yeah.
But you can't do anything about it if you don't admit that there's a problem. Why are salespeople so blind to the fact that it's them, it's their fault?
Well, I think in our industry in particular, and the assessment was noting that it was our industry in particular when surveyed that seemed to come with this answer a lot. I think a lot of it is we don't desire a lot of times to be known as salespeople.
Right.
We're very proud to be service-oriented people and educators and bring value in that manner. And I think that's just missing the opportunity, because you can be all of those things. You can bring all of that value and touch far more people if you learn how to actually sell better and raise your game.
And appropriately and tactfully, and like there's a skill set to it that isn't just given to you. You have to actually work at it. And speaking about work, you said this, and I think that people are just afraid to do the hard work. And I think now more than ever that's true, because everything is push a button, you get it. We're instant gratification culture. Why do you think that that's more of a generational thing?
Yes, I do. And I don't want to categorize entirely, because certainly there are people that emerge out of every generation, but certainly the generation I came out of, like, we were raised that hard work works.
Yeah.
And, you know, whether it is practice or persistence, consistency, responsiveness, availability, like the package space, like hard work will overcome, you know, the objections every time.
And I think that, I mean, and you're talking about like generationally wise, well, I think I said that, but like, you think like total old school, it's like, well, what's hard work? Well, it's, you know, grabbing a wrench and wrenching something, or taking a hammer and banging at something, actual real hard work. What do? We make phone calls. We push buttons on a computer. And I think, is it really that hard? Or is it just something where it's like, look, yeah, you're gonna get hung up on. You know, deals aren't gonna go through.
I do think that the best originators that emerge to the top, whether they consciously set out to do this or not, I don't know, but you could find a common thread. First, they have incredible essential knowledge, right? Like, they learn the business.
Right.
Second, they have strong scripts and know how to generate leads or business. They have strong marketing systems. They have strong execution systems for manufacturing the loan. They understand how to build a team. So they're working to create all components of their business, and those that have the full picture are the ones that then truly, when they go out to land business with a referring partner or an individual customer or a bigger partnership, they know that the value that they're bringing exceeds any agenda or value they're trying to get in return. And that is contagious. It wins.
It comes down to confidence. I
Yeah.
mean, you've done it, you've been there, you put it together.
Well,
so you said this, and I think that this is particularly relevant to the 2024 landscape, is people are afraid to take the whiteboard, their entire process, and erase the whole thing and start over. I think that's really important now in 2024 for people to do that, because look, things haven't worked the same way that they used to. Why do you think people are reserved to do it, and why do you think more people should?
It's uncomfortable, right? And honestly, the people that are exceeding right now, the owners and the companies that are succeeding, they are willing to really get comfortable with being uncomfortable, like next level uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right? They're being bold, they're being courageous, they're taking risks, they are making strategic bets. Like they are willing to lean into that. And if you think about the average originator or even company, we constantly just have tweaked what we've done for years, right? We'll call an audible or we'll pivot in a different direction, but we don't want to just let go of what we're married to in terms of what we feel equals success. And honestly, I said it in that manner. If you've got to figure out how to play the game with 3 people on the court instead of 5, or 7 people on the field instead of 11, and you can't have an assistant coach, or you can't maintain comp structure the way it is, or the niche of your business, you've got to be willing to wipe the slate and relook at the landscape of what is my current circumstance? What's the set of facts? What's the market and economic conditions? Like, what are the resources truly available to me, and how do I need to completely consider letting go of something I'm married to and how I did it before?
And I think that's tough, because I think it's first off, again, it's like admitting something's wrong. Your business has fundamentally changed.
People,
therefore,
they don't like change.
Well, yeah, but therefore your plan and strategy needs to change. Like if you were to rewrite the whole thing, you'd probably write it different. And I think that that's what people need to do right now.
The whole point. And that's what the coach that actually taught me the whiteboard lesson, that was his point, is if you were starting your business over today, knowing all the new set of facts and economic factors that you know, how would you do it differently? And you would do it differently. There's no way it would be identical or just a little tweak.